Very good morning, children. In today's class, I will be doing your English 1 lesson Matilda Can Do Magic. Continuation of the lesson. I did half lesson the previous class. I'll continue the other half in this class. And I will also do your textbook exercise. And along with that, I will also send you the notes PDF. Half notes I already sent of this lesson. Anyways, I'll resend it again with the full notes of this lesson. Please take down in your classwork book. Okay. Well, before I could start the lesson, let me do a quick recap on what we learnt of this lesson, Matilda Can Do Magic. So this lesson was written by Roald Dahl. Okay. So Matilda Wormwood. She's the main character of this lesson. She's a very bright and a very intelligent girl, gifted child. Okay. She's so intelligent, but her parents would rather have her watch television than to read the books. And it was the same with her school headmistress, Miss Trunchbull, who also refused her to do the same. However, her class teacher, Miss Annie, was very helpful. She recognized her brilliance and she always tried to help her. What happens is one day, Miss Trunchbull visits the classroom and there is a newt in the glass of water. So she doesn't ask anybody who did this, nothing. She immediately put the blame on Matilda, telling, why have you done this prank? And she said, I'm going to throw you out of the school. Suddenly what happened, the glass fell over her and the newt fell on Miss Trunchbull. Okay, now she got even more angrier, and then what happened? But everyone was seeing Matilda was sitting in her own place. She did not touch the glass. She did not put the newt inside the glass. Nothing she did. But Miss Trunchbull got very angry. Okay, so after the class, everybody left outside. Matilda she was not in a rush to go out, but she was just waiting because she wanted to tell this whole incident to somebody who is very, very close to her, or whom she trusts very much. That's her class teacher, Miss Honey. So she will go and tell her, ma'am, I want to talk to you for a minute. Can I? She tells, definitely you can, because she knows how her mother and how her parents and Miss Trunchbull treats her. So she was actually upset with them and she wanted to bring this child out of it. So she was also very helpful to Matilda. So she says, definitely you can come. And then she explains the whole situation. See, this is what happened, but I didn't do anything. I'm sorry, I did not go touch. I did not put the glass newt inside the glass. All that she'll explain. But after telling all this, she tells, but what happened is all because of me. So the teacher, Honey, was a little confused. What is she trying to say? She says she didn't do anything, but again, she's taking the responsibility of whatever happened. So she asks, what is it? Tell properly. And then she tells, see, that is something. I was just sitting in my own place and I was actually wishing the glass to tip. Okay, tip down means to fall down, and it immediately fell down. So I didn't do anything. So I don't know how this happened. So Miss Honey was a little amused of this whole situation. So she could not follow. She says, I'm still not following you. Do you mean you actually willed the glass to tip over? She says. Then, yes, ma'am. I was just sitting in my own place and I was just thinking and it just fell on, ma'am. Okay, so Miss Honey asks, can you do something like this again and show it to me? Definitely, if you've done something like that, it's a miracle. Can you show it to me again? So she says, yes, I can do it again. Okay, could you do it again? She asks. Yes, I will, she says kindly. There I stopped. Okay, now let's continue. Page number 69. I don't know, Matilda said, but I think I might be able to. Miss Annie moved the now empty glass to the middle of the table. Should I put water in it? She asked, smilingly a little. I don't think it matters, Matilda said. Very well then, go ahead and tip it over. It may take some time. Take all the time you want, Miss Annie said. I'm in no hurry, she said. Matilda, sitting in the second row, about 10 feet away from Miss Honey, she put her elbows on the desk and cupped her face in her hands. And this time she gave the order right in the beginning. Tip, glass, tip, she ordered. But her lips didn't move and she made no sound. She simply shouted the words inside her head, and now she concentrated the whole of her mind and her brain and her will up into her eyes, and once again, but much more quickly than before, she felt the electricity gathering, and the power was beginning to surge, and the hotness was coming into the eyeballs, and then the millions of tiny invisible arms with hands on them were shooting out towards the glass without making any sound at all. She kept shouting inside her head for the glass to go over. She was it wobble, then it tilted, then it toppled right over and fell with a tinkle on the tabletop 12 inches from Miss Honey's folded arms. Miss Honey's mouth dropped open and her eyes stretched so wide you could see the whites all around. She didn't say a word. She couldn't. The shock of seeing the miracle performed had struck her dumb. She gaped at her glass, leaning well away from it now as though it may be a dangerous thing. Then slowly she lifted her head and looked at Matilda. She saw the child, white in the face and as white as paper, trembling all over, the eye glazed straight ahead and seeing nothing. The whole face was transfigured, the eyes round and bright, and as she was sitting there speechless, Miss Honey waited, trembling a little herself and watching the child as she slowly stirred, and then suddenly, click went her face into the look of almost angelic calm. I'm all right, she said and smiled. I'm quite all right, Miss Honey, so don't be alarmed. Did you understand, children? So she asked Matilda, no, can you perform it again? So she says, yes, ma'am, I can do it. But, and then she keeps the glass on the table and she says, yes, move on. So should I put water inside that? She says, it doesn't matter. Even if you don't put water, that doesn't matter. It's okay. And then she says, yes, go ahead. And she say again, Matilda says, it'll take some time. So Miss Honey says, no problem. Take your own time. I'm not at all in a hurry. So Matilda, sitting in the second row, about 10 feet away from Miss Honey, she put the elbow on the desk. She cupped her face in her hands, means keeping the hands in both the cheeks. And then this time she gave the order right in the beginning only. In the previous situation, after some time she said tip tip, but here in the beginning only she gave the order. Her lips didn't move. She didn't make any verbal sound saying tip glass, move glass, nothing. She did not do anything. But inside her whole of her mind and brain, she was just shouting tip, tip, glass, tip. And immediately while she was doing that, she felt a kind of electricity gathering, a power, okay, beginning to surge, some hot kind of thing coming out into the eyeballs, millions of tiny arms, small tiny arms, pushing with the hands on them, were shooting towards the glass, and without making any sound at all, she kept shouting inside her head. All this is happening inside her. They say in a vivid imagination, lively, active imagination. So she's feeling all this happening at that situation. So she said that immediately what happened? The glass tilted and toppled right over and fell with a tinkle on the tabletop. It was 12 inches from Miss Honey's folded arms. She was a teacher. Miss Honey was folding her arms, so it just fell there. Okay. So Miss Honey was just mouth dropped open. She was like, oh my God, what is this? So something like that. Okay. She couldn't say a word. She was just shocked by seeing the miracle performed by her, and then she was just trying to something. She was just stuck. She didn't know how to react to the situation. Okay, and she looked at this girl who was sitting there calm, like almost like an angelic look. She was sitting there calm, and then she smiled and said to her, "Okay, don't worry, I'm all right." Okay, she didn't scare the child actually. Okay, she said, "Don't worry, I'm all right." Okay, now let's move on to page number 70. I hope you understood this. Let's move on to page number 70. Page number 70, continuation. "You seem so far away," Miss Honey whispered, horror-struck. Horror-struck means filled with feeling of admiration and respect. So she whispers, "I mean, you were so far, and how could that happen?" "Oh, I was flying past the stars on silver wings," Matilda said. "It was wonderful." Miss Honey was still gazing at the child in absolute wonderment, as though she were the creation, the beginning of the world, the first morning. "It went much quicker this time," Matilda said quietly. "It's not possible," Miss Honey was gasping. "I don't believe it. I simply don't believe it." She closed her eyes and kept them closed for quite a while, and when she opened them again, it seemed as though she had gathered herself together. "Would you like to come back and have a tea at my cottage?" she asked. "Oh, I would love to," Matilda said. "Good. Collect your things and I'll meet you outside in a couple of minutes." "You won't tell anyone about this thing that I did, will you, Miss Honey?" "I wouldn't dream of it," Miss Honey said. So look at that. I really loved this lesson. Look at the trust that the child has got on a teacher, children. Yes, no? Uh, and the teacher also. The amount of love and the amount of uh, what you say, um, the bonding they have. She trusts the teacher so much, and the teacher also is like that. She says, whatever the situation happened, and she said this time it really happened very quickly, but previous time it didn't happen like that. So looking at the child, she felt the child was she was still in that wonderment, and she felt that she is the creation, beginning of the world, first morning, whatever. And then she again says, "It's not possible, and I really don't believe it." And then she kept closing her eyes for some time and then opened it again. And then she just want to come back, come out of it. Okay. Then she said, "Would you like to have some tea? Come to my cottage." Then Matilda says, "I would love to come." And then she says, "Okay, collect all your things and all and come outside in a couple of minutes. I'll meet you outside," she says. And then again she asks, "Will you tell anybody about this, what I told you?" And she says, "I would not dream of it. I mean, even in my dreams, I wouldn't tell anybody." So the trust, the kind of bonding the student and the teacher had, the student so believed, not the parents, not the administrators, but the teacher. And on the other hand, the teacher was also so helpful, so trustworthy, so loving, so caring about this child. Yes. So did you enjoy the lesson? So that is what Matilda can do, a magic. This is about what magic she did in the lesson. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Yes or no, children? I guess it is yes. Okay, this lesson is there for your test portions as well, children. I have one more lesson to do, saving the tigers, I believe. Yes, saving the tiger I will do in the following week. So please go through this lesson, read the lesson, go through the notes also. Okay, now let me quickly do your textbook exercise also. Page number 72, grammar and usage. There you have the first A main. Underline two clauses in each of these compound sentences and circle the word that joins them. See, children, yes. See, compound sentences is nothing but it contains two independent clauses joined with a coordinating conjunction. That's what has happened here. It's a two different sentences, independent sentences. You have to join them with a conjunction. So look at the first one is done for us. This sum looks difficult. One sentence. is actually quite straightforward. It is independent sentences. They have used a conjunction to join this. This sum looks difficult, but is actually quite straightforward. Okay, so that is how you have to do. Underline the two clauses in each of these compound sentences and circle the word that joins them. Word which joins is a conjunction. So the sentences is compound sentences. So second one, Kanak went into the kitchen and came out with a plate full of samosas. So Kanak went into the kitchen. Here's one sentence, underline that. And, which is joining, which is a conjunction, circle it. Kanak came out with a plate of samosas. Third one, you could buy tickets at the museum. Underline, that's one sentence. Or, circle it, which is a conjunction. You could try online is another sentence. Just add you could there. The painting is rich and has a lovely mixture of colors. The painting is rich in one sentence, underline it, and is a conjunction which is joining these two sentences. The other part of the sentence is the painting has a lovely mix of colors. I couldn't solve the puzzle, that's one part of the sentence, yet, which is a conjunction. I could not stop trying. The film was too long, but we stayed till the end. But is the conjunction, so we have to circle the word that joins, then underline the two clauses. Okay, well, the next main, join these parts to write meaningful compound sentences. Again, compound sentence is nothing but two independent clause which is joined with a conjunction. First one is done for us. Sujata was getting impatient, arrow mark, they've given for is a conjunction. Rupa was staring dreamily at the poster. That's the second part of the independent sentence. So just like that, the second one. To complete their project on time, girl did all the research and Umesh took care of the presentation. She might decide to go to medical college or choose to make a career of her deep interest in sculpture. The rain has stopped play for the day anyway, so we have no choice but to go home. She became car sick quite often, but she insists on driving long distances. We reached the restaurant early, but we did not get a table. Okay, so nothing. Connect this first sentences to the conjunction and from that conjunction to connect to the next sentences. I have done that. Please see properly and mark it. Okay, let's move on to page number 73. Words in use. Look at the highlighted words in these phrases from the story. From the story they've taken. Okay, highlighted words: wobble, tilted, toppled, trembling, surge, stirred. If you remember, all these words are in the text. Okay. Now these words describe different kinds of movements. Movements is a kind of moving action kind of thing. Okay. Complete these sentences with the correct form of the words, that is movement words. Those words you have to fill in the blanks. It has been such a still morning that even the leaves have barely stirred. Slowly. Okay. When the gates of the dam were opened, the water dashed forward and flowed into the canals. Surge means power, with a great power. Okay, when you open the dam, you have seen the force of the water. That is what it is. The chair is dashed because one of the leg is broken. Don't sit on it. Wobbling. She tried to arrange the cards to form a pyramid, but they dashed over. Toppled over. I've wrapped up the kitten in a warm blanket because I found it dash in the cold. Trembling. The painting on the wall was dash to the left. Will you please set it straight? Tilted. Okay. Now the next one is read these phrases. Steel rimmed spectacles. Now empty glass. Here, steel rimmed spectacle can also be written as spectacles that were rimmed with steel. And now empty glass can be written as a glass which was now empty. The words in color are compound adjectives. Use this compound adjective to describe noun in fewer words. Now, just like that, compound means what? Compound noun. Two nouns form one new noun. So here, compound adjectives. So they've given one part of the word, the other part, put it right and join them. Okay. Well, well known. Slow, slow moving. Life, life threatening. Brand, brand new. Absent, absent minded. Okay. Yes. With this, I finish your lesson. I hope you all understood the lesson, your textbook exercise. Go through your textbook exercise for your test FA3 children. Okay. Any doubt, you can get back to me. Because most of the children are coming to school. You can ask and clarify your doubt. The others also, if you have any doubt, you can get back to me. Okay, with this I finished the lesson. Matilda can do magic. Yes, children. Page. So the homework is read the lesson once again, complete the given notes. Yes? Well then. Thank you, children.